everyone, I'm Claire and this is my vlog Loves Red Sews. Welcome if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. So today is my weekly Sunday sews and I'm releasing this on Sunday the 16th of June and I am recording this today on Saturday the 15th of June. This week I will be talking about what I've been making this week and what my upcoming plans are, and I have a few fabrics to share with you. And yeah, so hopefully you'll enjoy today's vlog. So before I make a start, I'll just show you what I'm wearing. So today I am wearing a Zadie jumpsuit that I made quite a long time ago. So I just step back so you can see it. So it's quite wide legged, and I don't know if you can see, but this is kind of 3/4 length. This is made in obviously this bright red linen fabric, and I made this actually back in 2020, so it's kind of 4 years old now, and I haven't actually worn it very much recently. I'm not sure why. I know the whole issue with jumpsuits and ladies going to the toilet is not always the easiest, so I think sometimes that puts me off, but today I just fancied putting it on. Sometimes I just pull out outfits out of my wardrobe, things that I've made that I haven't worn for a while, and I like to kind of revisit them. This is one of them. I was intrigued to see if this would still fit, to be honest, because it has been a while since I've made it, and I'm pleased to say it does still fit, so that's a bonus. And I really love this actually. It's really comfortable to wear, and the colour is obviously, you know, nice and bright. It's very me, so yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. And what I have been sewing this week, you will probably see here on my mannequin. So I have been sewing up the new pattern by Tilly and the Buttons this week, which is the Nell Dress. So this is just a printout PDF. I've got a PDF version of the pattern. So this is the newest pattern that she's just recently released, which is there's actually quite a lot of options on this pattern. So it's a top, see actually on the front here, so there is a top version with a peplum. There is also a top or blouse version that's just completely straight if you don't like the peplum. And then there is a dress which comes in knee length or midi length. So this one is the midi length. It's got buttons all the way down, and the same with the top. But you can also put what do you call it, like little ties instead. But I think they're faux ties, so they don't actually serve any purpose. They're just more for show. So you can put those going all the way down the dress. And then there's different sleeve options as well. So I believe there's a short sleeve, which is just a straight short sleeve, a flutter sleeve, a long sleeve, and a puffball sleeve. So there's quite a few variations that you can do with this. I decided to make up the dress, first of all, just to try out the sizing. So I have heard a few other people say that this pattern comes with quite a lot of ease. I think it is designed that way to be quite nice and loose fitting. Judging by the pictures on the front, it certainly seems that it's meant to have quite a lot of ease in it. I think looking at the finished instructions, I think there's possibly around 11 inches of ease, which is quite a lot. Based on that, so I'm normally a 5 in Tilly patterns, but based on that I decided to size down to a 4. I wasn't sure whether to go down to a 3, but I am quite glad that I've picked a 4 actually, because I'm not overly small on my chest, and I think the 3 would have been way too tight on my chest. So the 4, when I first sort of tried it on, it did feel slightly snug across my chest. However, I've tried it on again this morning, where I've actually just pinned it at the moment, so I've got no buttons or anything on the front of it, and I've kind of repinned it so it's a little bit more where it should be, and in fact the fit is pretty spot on now for me. I'll pop a couple of pictures in just while I'm talking. I just took a couple quickly this morning, just to see what the fit is like before I sort of decided to put any fastenings on the front, because I wanted to, obviously if I needed to sort of adjust where I laid the front panel, if I needed to sort of, you know, just give myself a little bit more room there or not. But I think where I've got it pinned at the moment is just the perfect place. So for this version, I have obviously decided to go for the straight sleeves. However, I definitely want to try the puffball sleeves, because I've seen, I watched Adele's vlog actually this morning, I think it was, and she's done this dress also this week with the puffball sleeves, and it looks amazing. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, I would definitely want to try those puffball sleeves, because they're they're quite kind of dramatic, really. So yeah, just to try the fit, I decided to go for the straight short sleeves, and I have also done the patch pockets on the front, which I really like actually. And I've put, I don't know if you can see it too well here on the video, but there's a little tag here which I've attached to the side of this pocket, which is one from Hey So Sister, which says picnic vibes, which I thought went quite nicely with the dress. And this is, you can't quite see it on the video because of where the length is, but this is actually knee length. So as you'll see in the pictures that I've kind of popped in, you'll see it's knee length. Now, I did make a little bit of a mistake with this pattern when I first cut it out. So I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but it's the same as with the Mabel pattern by Tilly. They don't actually provide you with the pattern piece for the skirt. They just provide you with the pattern piece for the peplum. And then on that pattern piece, it tells you to lengthen that pattern piece to the length that you want for the skirt. So they recommend 52, I think it's 52 centimeters for I think that's for the midi length. And then I think it's about 30 centimeters for the knee length. Well, when I was sort of cutting out, I completely misread the instructions, and I read it that for the knee length to cut it at 52 centimeters. So I kind of basically lengthened my pattern piece. So I didn't want to cut it straight out onto the fabric. I basically lengthened my pattern piece. So I made a longer pattern piece. So I just added some paper onto the bottom of it to make it longer. I should have realised, looking at it, that it was going to be long, but I don't know why, it just didn't quite twig in my head. And also, I think until I actually see it on my body, I didn't know exactly where this top would end, whether it would be sort of, you know, further up, whether it would be sort of just under my sort of chest. Oh, you know, I wasn't entirely sure exactly where it would sit when it was on. In fact, it is pretty much on my waistline, but I wasn't sure if it would just be a little bit higher. So I kind of just went with the instructions, and I cut what I thought was the knee length at 52 centimeters. And when I put it all together, I thought, you know, this is definitely way too long. So I tried it on, and it was pretty much down to my ankle. So I thought, well, that's really odd, but you know, maybe because I am short, as you're probably aware, or if you're not aware, I'm 4'11", so I am quite petite. So I thought, well, maybe it's just the fact that I'm petite that has happened, and I'm definitely going to have to shorten it if I want it shorter than that. Anyway, I had a look through the instructions, and I realised that I'd completely misread it, and the 52 centimeters was for the midi length. So that made complete sense. So the midi length option on me is almost ankle length. So I had to, like, looking at it on, it kind of felt a bit like Little House on the Prairie type thing. It wasn't really the vibe I was going for. I think, especially for my height, I think sometimes the shorter, I mean, I've got a lot of maxi length dresses, but for this particular dress, I kind of wanted the knee length. So I set about shortening it, and I actually took, what did I take off? Can't remember, but I think I made the length, like, I think they recommended the length to be 30 centimeters, and I think I made it 26 centimeters instead, which seemed to be the perfect length. So you'll probably see in the photos that I've popped in, like the before and after, it definitely looks a lot better at the knee length for me. So this is actually all completed. I've finished this morning, so when I got up this morning I needed to hem the sleeves, hem the bottom of the dress, which I've done, and I just needed to overlock this part in the middle, which when I'd attached the bodice to the skirt I hadn't overlocked that bit, so I did that this morning. All that's left is the buttons to go on, so I have actually decided to do buttons on this version. Part of me is thinking, like especially after seeing Adele's, part of me is thinking maybe I should have done the ties, because it does look really nice. I wasn't sure at first about the ties all the way down the dress, but actually seeing it on somebody else, it's really nice. However, I think I am going to just go with the buttons for this version, just to make things easier. Now I've tried this on over my head as it is, and it goes over my head absolutely fine with these pins in place, and there's no issues with sort of it being tight, and I think the fact that it's got this nice V-neck gives it that little bit of more room. So I'm actually gonna just sew the buttons straight through, so they will just be faux buttons on the front, which I think will be much nicer, and it will probably stop any kind of gapage or anything. I had a look. I actually ordered a couple of buttons this week off a button company that I use quite a lot on Etsy called Buttons and Things Company, I think they're called. But I think I didn't quite get the sizing right, and in my head I was thinking, well, I looked at the instructions in the pattern and it recommended some button sizes, and it was from one size to the other size, and so I think I got kind of like the smallest ones, but to be honest they're more shirt like size. They're really nice buttons, but I think they're just a bit too small for this project. So I had a look in my button stash, and I've actually got I actually realised I had these buttons, which are just kind of plain red, just with a little bit of a shimmer. They're quite a nice size, but I'll just hold one up against, if you can see, I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. Just wondering if I've got a little bit of fabric here. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I think I've got a little bit of fabric here, so you might be able to see it a bit better close up here. So so that is the button on the fabric, and I think it goes really well, and it's a really good size. So they're the buttons I'm going to use. I've got plenty of them. I think I've probably got about 12 of them, and I think I'm just going to sew them on straight through the dress, and then basically that will be it finished. So if you follow me on Instagram, look out for my post, my completed post, when I show the finished project, because I'll probably be popping that up on Instagram this weekend once I've got those buttons sewn on. So I'll be doing that this weekend. So that's pretty much what I've been working on this week. I should mention actually, this fabric is it's a cotton lawn. So I got this from a company called Watson Fabrics. Sorry, I was just looking at my notebook because it went out of my head then who it was from. So I'll just show you it in close up. So this is obviously red background, these lilac flowers all over it, and it's a really nice lightweight cotton lawn. It was actually really, really nice to work with. I've made a lot of projects I've been making recently and over the past sort of few months, and even the last couple of years, have been very much sort of focused on viscose type fabrics, and I haven't actually worked with a cotton lawn for quite a long time. This pattern is very well suited to a cotton lawn or even a linen, that kind of thing, and so I decided obviously to use this cotton lawn, and it was actually a real joy to work with. It behaved in so many ways, you know, and when you press it, it just presses exactly how you want it. Everything stays in place. Yeah, it was just an absolute joy to work with. So I'm definitely going to be making more of these dresses. I've got a few sort of other fabrics kind of I've pulled out that I quite fancy making it in, so yeah, I need to have a think about which one I want to do next, and I'll definitely be cutting another one out. I think I definitely want to try the puffball sleeves next, so look out for some more Nell dresses on the horizon. I have also got the Fabric Godmother pattern new one as well, which is the fleur, which is fairly similar, but it's a bit more higher at the neck. I also want to give that one a go as well, so it would be quite good to compare the two. I think there's definitely a few differences between them, but it'll be good to kind of see. I hear that one is also a really good quick easy make, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to giving that one a try as well. So the other thing I've been working on this week is my project for So Fruity. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that on this vlog, because I am actually part of the vlogger tour for So Fruity this year, which is quite exciting. And this is a challenge that Yvette from Blossom Sandwich runs every year. I'll just pop a picture in here, but I'm not going to go into detail about it because I'll be doing a separate vlog about that. So my vlog on the vlogger tour is that it will actually be towards the end of the month, so I think mine's the 27th of June, but I kind of wanted to get a little bit prepared in advance with that project. So I've actually done a bit of cutting out this week of my project. I've started recording a few little bits and pieces so that I can put it all together in my vlog. I'm actually going away next weekend, so I won't get any chance to sew then, so I kind of wanted to be a little bit ahead of the game so that when it comes to the 27th, my vlog and my garment will all be done so that I can do my vlog in time. So look out for that one to come. So they are the only things that I've been sewing this week. I'm definitely going to be making another Nell dress, so I might possibly have a chance to cut another one of those out this weekend. And then other than that, I know I think the last time I spoke to you, or possibly the time before, I mentioned that I was going to put myself on a self-imposed fabric ban. Well, that did not happen. Yeah, I completely failed at that. Hold my hands up. So I have been buying a few more fabrics again. I have got a small selection here to show you today, so just 4 fabrics, but I've actually got quite a bumper haul coming. None of it has arrived yet, so I think might be another 6 to 8 fabrics. I mean, it's pretty horrendous, isn't it? I'm absolutely terrible. I really need to rein it in, so maybe I'll try again for July, for the month of July. I mean, June is kind of out the window really now. I've already failed, but maybe I should put myself on another ban for July so that I can get some of these sewn up. Anyway, I'll share with you the ones that I've got here. So the first one I've got, I saw a few other people share this one, and this is a fabric that I picked up from Rainbow Fabrics, and it is this. So slightly different for me in that it's not quite as colourful, but it's a black and white. I think they describe it as like a cotton embroidery anglais, and if I go in just a little bit closer, you can see there's all this embroidery detail on it, which you can actually feel it's got, you know, some kind of structure to it. I'll just try and show you on a single layer so that you can see. So it's actually not too thick. It's slightly sheer, but I think when it's made up, it's not going to be too sheer when it's all kind of together. Now I've got 4 meters of this. I don't know exactly what I'm going to make with it. However, I do see some kind of cord set in this, and when I say cord, I'm thinking maybe a pair of loose fitting trousers, and maybe a matching top. So I don't know if that will be something like the Donny, or whether it could be something like maybe even the Nell top or the Fleur top. I'm not entirely sure. I have to have a little think, but I definitely think this would be quite nice as a co-ord set. It's either that or possibly possibly the dress, the Nomi dress, ME2016 I think it is. That could also be a good contender because I've got 4 meters. So yeah, well, we'll have a think and see what I decide to make with that one. And then obviously Fabric Godmother released their latest pattern, and they also released a collection of fabrics. Now there was a couple of fabrics that I kind of had my eye on, but I was really unsure whether to get them or not, and in the end I didn't, and then I immediately regretted it, and they're now not in stock. So yeah, you snooze you lose, as they say. But I will talk about that in 2 seconds, because I shall let you know what's happening with that. But the first one I bought from them was this, which is it's another red linen, slightly different shade to this one. So this is more of a bright tomatoey red. This is more of a it's more of a kind of a ruby red, I would say. It's actually a really nice actually a really nice shade. Now they used this fabric in the sample that they've been showing their fleur peplum top in, and I quite fancy actually making either this dress, the Nell dress, or the fleur dress in this. I think it would be really nice in just a plain linen fabric. So I think that's what this is going to become. I have got 2.5 meters of this, so it will actually be pretty much perfect for the nail. So it may well become the nail, and I might even do the nail with the ties on the front, like the bow ties instead of buttons, because I think that would be really nice, and that would be sort of slightly different to this. So yeah, I think that might be what that is going to be. So I have the other fabrics I really quite liked was the I especially like the tomato fabric, which was a stretch denim, and I really ummed and ahed about that because I kept thinking I just think it's really nice, but I felt a little bit too much in trousers. So I just wasn't sure that I would like it in trousers, and so I decided not to get it. And then I saw somebody had posted online that they'd bought a small piece of it to make a pair of shorts, and I thought, shorts, yeah, it had not crossed my mind to make shorts. All I'd thought in my head was trousers, and so I thought, yeah, I immediately wanted to then buy it to make a pair of shorts. Obviously you wouldn't need as much fabric either for that. That's when it was already out of stock, so I am on the waiting list for that. So if it does come back into stock, I might purchase a small piece of that to make a pair of shorts, because I think they would be quite fun for the summer, if we ever get a summer. And then I have actually purchased the other fabric, which is in a viscose linen. I haven't got it here, it hasn't arrived yet, but it's the one that's got all of the symbols, like the Italian food symbols and stuff all over it, if you've seen it. If you haven't, then don't worry, because I will share it once it's arrived. I'll share it in another vlog, maybe next week, or oh no, possibly not next week, the week after. And then the other 2 fabrics that I'm going to share with you. So I am a subscriber to In a Haystack, which, if you're not aware of what that is, it's basically like it's a monthly digital sewing kind of magazine, I guess. And as part of that, every month you get a PDF pattern. It's quite a minimal cost. I think it costs about £10 per month, and you get a PDF pattern every month from an independent pattern designer, and there are lots of articles that you can read in the email and stuff like that. And then you also get a discount code for a fabric shop, and that changes every month. So this month the discount was with So in the UK, who, if you don't know them, they're a really nice little sewing fabric shop, online only, I believe, and I think the lady that runs it is called Kate. And yeah, I thought, well, I'll just have a look and see what they've got on there, and I decided to pick a couple of fabrics. I think the discount was 15%, so it was quite a good discount. So the first one I picked is this, which is a tie-dye fabric, and I'll just bring it a little bit closer. So it's obviously orange, and it's also a seersucker. So I have got 3 meters of that. Sorry, I was just looking at my notebook just to remember. So yeah, I bought 3 meters of that. I'll just show you kind of a single layer if I can find it, just so you can get an idea. So it's a fairly structured fabric, but it's actually not too see-through. It's quite a decent kind of weight without being heavy. It's nice and fine for summer. I kind of envisage this in a kind of a longer sort of dress. I haven't quite decided what dress yet, but I think it'll definitely look nice in a dress. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking like a dress with a little bit of swish, but this will be a little bit more structured, so I don't know, maybe that would make a nice flare dress. We'll see. I'll have to have a look at my patterns and see what I've got that takes my fancy for that one. So that was the first purchase, and the other one, this has been on my wish list for quite a long time actually, and I haven't purchased it up until now. I know lots of people have, and it's this fabric it's a Fabric Godmother fabric, and this is called Linea. This is the one with the black background. So they've recently released the same fabric with a white background. I actually prefer the black background. I always have done. I think it makes the colours really pop. It still seems really summery to me, even with the darker background. And I have got 3 meters of this. But I think this will also make either a really nice now or a really nice flare dress. So I think that is possibly what I'm going to also make with that. So by the sounds of it, I'm going to be making quite a lot of flares or nails. So yeah, watch the space. I'm definitely going to be making more of these because the fit is it's so nice, and it's a really sort of quick, simple make, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, they're the fabrics that I'm sharing with you today. So I thought that was quite good with the little discount code, sort of being able to get those. As I mentioned, I'm away next weekend, so we are going away just for a couple of nights to Scotland, but my husband needs to do a couple of inspections on some properties up there, and so we decided to kind of make a little weekend of it together so he doesn't have to go up on his own. We're going to drive, and he needs to do one in Manchester. So already in my head I was thinking about places, I say places like fabric shops that are going to be, if there's going to be any fabric shops nearby where he's stopping for his inspections. And I have discovered that Abercarn in Manchester, because we need to stop at Manchester on the way, and Abercarn are going to be very close to where he needs to be. So I contacted them this week to find out if they're dog friendly, because we actually need to take our dog with us. So we tried to get him booked in with somebody to look after him while we're away, and it was unfortunately a little bit short notice, so they had no availability. So we've actually booked an accommodation, dog-friendly accommodation, and we've decided to take him with us. We've never taken him on a journey that long before, so he's really good in the car. Hopefully he will be okay on that long journey, but we'll be doing plenty of stops on the way, so he can have a few comfort breaks and stuff. But yeah, so I contacted Abercarn and asked them if they were dog friendly, and they've replied back to me yesterday to say yes, they are, providing they're well behaved and on a lead. So fingers crossed Ralph is well behaved. So while my husband goes and does his site inspection, I'm going to pop to Abercarn in Manchester and have a little browse with Ralph. So hopefully that will go well. But I kind of thought, well, you know, I don't need particularly need any more fabrics, but you know, while you're there, it's quite nice to, I've never been to an Abercon before, so it'll be quite nice just to see what it's like. If he is not, I mean, I say not well behaved, he's always pretty well behaved, but he might just, when he's anywhere new, he's really pully and he wants to sniff everything, and sometimes it's a little bit, he can be a little bit much, you know, he's sort of like on overdrive, I guess. So if it's a little bit overwhelming for him, then I may just need to leave the shop again, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. So yeah, because we're away, I don't think I'm going to get a chance to film a vlog next weekend, so I think I will probably miss next week, unfortunately, so apologies for that. And then you'll have another one from me the following week, which I think you'll probably have 2 from me that week, actually, because I think my So Fruity vlog will be due that week, and also then my weekly sews. So even though I miss next week, you'll get two for the price of 1. So hopefully that's okay, but yeah, I think that's everything I've got to share with you today, so I will wrap up now, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I shall see you again soon. Have a good week and happy sewing. Thanks very much for watching. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and obviously comment if you would like to comment. I always like to read your comments, so yeah, always lovely to hear from you. So thanks very much, and speak to you again soon. Bye.